Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meadsyreplays and welcome back to channel. Today we're going to be looking at two tier 8 tanks, and they are the IS3 Defender and the T28 Defender. They are both turned up in blitz stores once again. Now the T28 Defender has, I think, previously just been the one time. I could be wrong, it could be two, but I'm sure it's just the one. And the Defender has been numerous of times over the few years it's been in the game. So first up, we're going to look at the Defender. You can buy these tanks either separately or you can buy them as a bundle. So separately, they both cost 15,000 gold. If you want to buy them both, they cost 25,000 gold. So you buy them both, you save 5k gold. But 15,000 gold, I still think is a bit costly, to be honest. Nowadays, when tier 8 return, I mean, you're looking at sort of 10 to 12.5k gold. So 15,000 gold, I think, is a little bit costly. If I didn't have the tank, I don't think I'd buy this for 15,000 gold. Maybe 12,000, I would probably think about buying it. But then again, if you're going to look at buying it for 12,000 gold, and even the T28 Defender at 12,000 gold, that's 24,000 gold, and together they're 25,000 gold. So together, you are getting a better deal if you buy them together. But not everyone has 25,000 gold to spare. Now, if I was going to choose between if I was going to choose one of them, I'd definitely go for the T28 Defender over the IS3 Defender. Now, the IS3 Defender is a heavy tank. It's pretty much an IS3. That's why it's called an IS3 Defender. But I don't like the tank. I mean, I used to love the tank when it first come. I mean, I paid quite a lot of money back then because I wanted to get the tank. You could get it for free in the event, but I wanted it straight away. So back being a noob when I just paid however much I paid. It was well over £100 just to get the tank straight away. Now, as I've said, I don't in particular like the tank. I don't know why I don't like it. I mean, the accuracy is not great. The armor is very troll. I mean, you're going to get a few bounces. But for now, I can easily deal with IS3 Defenders in the game. I'm not worried about any IS3 Defender. I mean, this guy here, he has already lost more than half of his hit points. The accuracy is very bad. The penetration isn't the greatest either. But to be honest, I probably don't like it because for me, it's run past its sell-by date. It's not the same as it once was. Now, when this tank first this come when it was +2, -2. Back in the days, you could handle tier 10, no problem. When you was facing tier 6s, that is when this tank become a problem, and it felt completely OP. You run two of these back in the day I've got videos. I've got one video, I think, years ago, where me and a friend was running these in a platoon, and we just dominated. We absolutely dominated. If you can focus fire, you can... But that's the same as any autoloader. If you are in a platoon with another autoloader and you focus fire, you can be really, really dangerous. Really dangerous. I mean, 400 alpha. This is 122mm. 400 alpha every, 7-8 seconds reload. And if there's two of you, you're doing double that. So you can wipe tanks really, really quickly. But as I've said, for the IS3 Defender, I think it's more... I've got 1,400 battles in the Defender, and most of that was when it was +2, -2, when I just absolutely spammed this tank to the ground. I didn't play any other tank except for the IS3 Defender. It makes credits, it was OP back in the day, and it was fun. But nowadays, the +2, -2 is gone. It's not as fun. I mean, there is plenty of other 122mm out there, and there's just so many. I think that's the problem. There's just so many IS tanks. IS3, you got IS5, IS6. There's just loads of them. IS2SH. There's just loads of them. So newer people that don't own any of these tanks might enjoy this tank. They might enjoy the tank. Being an autoloader heavy, if you like the IS3, then you're probably going to like this tank because it has that autoloader. But to be honest, I prefer the T28 Defender. I actually really like the T28 Defender. It has much better DPM. I mean, the DPM on the IS3 Defender is only 1800. It's pretty much, it's quite low. But the T28 Defender is around 2100. So it's got a better reload. It's 120mm instead of 122 on the T28 Defender. It has quicker reload. It has better gun depression. It has better aim time, better accuracy, and armor is probably. I mean, the armor's not great on both tanks. I mean, these situations, the IS5 here is a complete noob. He should have killed this T28 Defender a long time ago. He was pretty much full health, and the IS3 Defender hasn't really lost anything. So that game, FV215-183, ends up on over nearly 3,000 block damage, and he ends on 4,200 damage, and a lovely credit there. It was his ×5, it was the birthday, so 210,000 credits. 1,299 base XP, so a long time ago, this tank was almost impossible to ace. The IS3 Defender was almost impossible to ace. And I think myself, I've only got, in 1,400 battles, I think I've got like 2 aces. Not many at all, but I don't play it no more. I can't remember the last time I played it, and I don't really sit in the garage and think, you know what, I'm going to play the Defender today. Unless I was in a platoon and someone else chose the Defender, but even then, I would probably go for this tank here. This is fairly new. It's got 10 degrees, nice 10 degrees of gun depression. As I've said, 2,100 DPM, and the reload is in between each shell is 6.7 seconds. And the reload, the full magazine reload, is a lot quicker than the IS3 Defender as well. Now we're going to watch Psycho Sid playing the T28 Defender. Lovely name, like the name Psycho Sid. And the team, it is a tier 9 battle. Unlucky missed there. He's still got 2 shells in his magazine, and most of the team have been spotted. I mean, if you look at the minimap, there is a couple on A. You're going to get some troll bounces in this thing, but I wouldn't expect bounces. I mean, the armor's okay, and that is basically all it is, and that's the same as the IS3 Defender. The IS3 Defender is probably better because it's an IS tank. It has troll side armor. A strong turret, but this for me is slower. It is slower than the IS3 Defender, but just overall, I just feel it's a much better tank. It has, I think it's an American. It isn't, well, it is an American, so you do have the weak rear, other than not like the IS3 Defender. But you can still do nice some HE damage to this poor Type 61, over 500 damage. Got 1 shell left. Is he going to get that shot? He just misses. That looked like it was going in them, but it just missed. So this battle, there is now 4 against 4. He's lost a little bit of hit points, not too many though, but he is on a full magazine reload. Now, as I say with any autoloader, and I do say it with any video I make with an autoloader, when you are on that magazine reload, always have cover, because if you don't, you're in a tier 8 tank where you're going to be up against tier 7s, tier 8s and tier 9s, and these are the tiers, especially in tier 7, when you think you're upper tier against tier 7s, and you think you're it. You think, yeah, I'm a higher tier, I'm in a big autoloader tank, no problem. But when you've got a Dracula running at you, he's going to cause some damage, so you haven't got the best armor. You can be HE'd from probably the side and the rear, and if a Dracula or a Type 62 or anything quick comes towards you, then you're in trouble. So always have cover, because if they can get behind you, especially when you're on a full magazine reload, that is basically the end for you. So, but that's not just a T28 Defender, that's any autoloader, or any autoloader. If you can, get cover. Get cover, especially for your magazine reload. If you can also, if you can't get cover, now the trick is for autoloaders, you need to know how to play autoloaders, because so many people don't play them correctly. Some people just are useless. But with autoloaders, you've got the 3 shells. So if you haven't got cover, if you've got your team around and you haven't got hard cover, unless the enemy team are counting your shots. I mean, here, this Tiger 2 might not know that he's got 3 shells. He might not know how many if he does know he's got 3 shells, he might not know if he's shot 1, twice, or 3 times. So doing what he's doing now, like, that's a great way of playing. Like, if you've got 1 shell left, maybe you can start backing up so they think you're on a reload and they might push, especially when they are really low hit points. Or if you are on a magazine reload, maybe it's a bit risky, but sometimes pushing the enemy is also a good tactic because they don't know that you're reloading. But if you shoot 3 shells and you start backing up, they're going to know, or they're going to think that you are reloading, and they could potentially push you. Sometimes, obviously, it doesn't work out your way if you do start pushing and when you are on a reload. But just occasionally, just the odd occasionally, if you start pushing, they automatically back up and they just hide. Just like this Tiger 2. This Tiger 2 doesn't know he's reloaded. And he backs up. He doesn't want to push. He shoots once, and then now the Tiger 2 pushes. Not sure if the Tiger 2 knows that this tank is an autoloader, but he does now. And even there, look, wow, like, what the fuck is that reload? But it is just an autoloader. So the Tiger 2 didn't know that this guy was an autoloader. And just here now, like, just face hug. Now this IS3 doesn't know he's on a reload, and he's face hugging. And most heavy tanks or heavily armored, nice turrets, you can face hug, and if you can face the gun, you can get some bounces. I mean, Psycho Sid, only 650 bounce, nothing special. He does finish on 4 kills and 3,300 damage, so not a bad battle. And he also makes, how many credits? 79,000 credits. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I probably wouldn't recommend them separately at that price. But if I do, I would go for the T28 Defender. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Meadsy69, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.